What's going down, NMS travelers? And today is a really cool day. Tons of fixes all around. You're here at the MacGyver 7 channel, and today we'll be digesting a few of the updates that have rolled through the last few days. So get excited, returning community members, hit that like button. If you're brand new, scrape that subscription button across the side and slam that notification bell to get all the future updates that roll across my channel. So for today, we're going to be going ahead and diving directly into a few categories, as the last patch note that I covered for returning community members was the 3.62. We'll also be hitting up 3.63 on top of the brand new Expedition 3 category, which I thought was cool, update 3.64, and there's a brand new hotfix for the PC fans that have been getting rare issues. But let's go ahead and scroll into this, but I thought this was really cool for most people that have been playing the game. One of the things that they detail inside the article later on is there's a No Man's Sky shirt, and I like its emblem. It's NMS since 2016, because I've literally been playing that. So I'm probably going to pick one of those up. They'll be available in October, and just in case they sell out, I kind of wanted to have one because it's been classic in my game life for jerseys. But let's go ahead and scroll through what's going to happen in patch notes. There's some debugging issues that they took care of on top of the fireplace and the NPCs instead of the terminal to larger rooms. On top of the rotation and the options for acceleration, you can see that it allows you to fast turn when retaining the details to controls. Some issues for as far as the power lines would fail to appear, and the issues for players and an ultimate number of special plants that would probably be blocking the parts, but no more. They hired a landscaper to clean all that up in this patch. So you can see for as far as what goes down for other is the rare issues that have been fixed for visual glitches when pushing buildings into the photo mode, on top of issues that cause players to back out into the base and build mode accidentally. Improve the D-pad for as far as the base building and control in order to minimize some accidents. On top of snapping now into the default, you can see issues that spring across the T-shape for as far as the block portions and the snap structures, as well as the pre-built large rooms and receiving power correctly. You can also see that the number of snapping and collision issues for as far as power doors have been fixed, on top of issues with they cause short range and teleporters to function correctly without power. Also fixed a number of snapping and collision issues with the freighter rooms and the UI issues that were bases in the building instead of VR. As you see that the gap goes down just a little bit, not too far. For as far as the issues that sum this one up, you can see that there are some glitches in NPCs inside of their navigation, also on their outside during the danger scenarios such as heavy storms and sentinel raids. You can see now that the issue also spans across the patch. The foliage has been affected. Clearing statements have been said, but the settlements that have been before have been placed at improved loading speeds of these settlements, on top of a significant number of optimizations for those settlements. They fixed issues, tons of settlement issues. You can see where the overseers and the decisions are now expected to be in intervals of 2 to the 2 hours. Now you can see the issues also for the longer grass spawning in the settlement on the planet. You can see that the recovery for some players who lost their primary multi-tool, accepting the blank tool from an upgrade purchase UI. You can see that is inside from that patch that they have had from the previous patch. You can see that the electronic for the cloak is to work, was not working, now it does. And the physics issue that players could get snagged while moving and through the space anomaly. PlayStation 5 you see has issues with some of the trophies failing to unlock, and then you can see where the crash related settlement navigation inside of there came down to related crashes across the board for base buildings, the generations, noises, base editing, and terrain generations. So with that being said, And we can scroll back out. That's covering R3. This one was a lot easier to kind of just take a quick look at. I thought it was really cool because now they're just really showcasing that this is the first time that they've really pushed forward with a great update, and this one's going to be incorporating a lot more cooler for as far as the 3 categories that begin today. You can see the Pioneer and the Beachhead, as well as like a few other things that will be coming down to where you can get inside of these very cool nifty portions of exploration. So keep going inside of the deep portion of the single planetary. You have a lot of stuff to find. For as far as where you're going to go past that, you can see that for where I already mentioned was the t-shirt, but you can also see that there are some really cool stuff for as far as the items that have been selected over there. Now to as far as some of the Twitch drop campaigns, you can see they have some pretty cool stuff that's pretty exclusive, so you might want to snipe that before it gets pretty sketchy and hell gets out of here. So as you can see, for as far as the Twitch drops, there's a good, nice, pretty penny, and then they had some pretty cool stuff for as far as spotlights. I always like the art that comes out of NMS. It's probably one of the cooler things that is always kept the community alive. There's a huge community of just very creative and artistic people. So cheers to you for keeping NMS alive. And the community reach is therefore expanded quite some time. But here's our update. The bread and butter, and I want to keep that one short, but also cover across that, because they put a little bit of work into that. As you can see, issues that happen to be in the settlement within the terrains, they fix some of the stuff that's slightly moving for the buildings. Galaxy map markers in settlements, there's issues that could happen with the NPCs in settlements where they got stuck, didn't navigate. All settlements to have incorrect labels and belonging to other players, cause settlements to chart, use some of the failed settlements on top of that situation. It had states of repeated endlessly with the building timer. Also on top of where you added the teleporter and the destination and the list inside of the settlements, the visual polish and the issues inside the settlement wall. So a lot of this is just really bringing up what they couldn't finish in the last one, because they rapid fired 2 updates, and a lot of that was trying to come up. Like the settlements, you can see that the construction time has been polished over for pads and towers. Small settlements and the buildings have additional construction stage. On top of that, for the debt payoff rates for the be calculated incorrectly, on top of the issues in the audio and the settlements. You can see now we scroll down to water leaking inside underwater bases, which I think is kind of cool. Kind of gives it the Bioshock feel, but I guess if you're trying to have, you know, a real cool looking base, yes, that would be an issue. But if someone trying to create, you know, Bioshock NMS, that, you know, they should totally leave that on. Sean Murray, just hint hint. You could have a whole little big planet type situation, little big universe rather. It's everyone's sky at that point. But moving on past that, leave a comment down below what you'd like to see in your universe. For as far as the missing geometry inside of the outside for the landing pads, inconsistent window for as far as the placement and the timers, snapping issues inside of generation batteries, solar panels, reported bases and the quick menus for as far as any parts. You can see that the build menu inside of the grind hints still active inside of the save. Oxygen and the harvest is appearing in the wrong groups. UI gets some cool stuff for the wooden material, appears inside the base, and then could cause the base building menu to be overly jittery. You can see for as far as the building menu to be closed, the part being placed, finding the issue ladders and snapping them correctly inside of the little cuboid rooms, which I had issues with in general. All of a sudden you're just walking on, you know, no ladder, but the ladder's on the other side. Prevented players for as far as landing in their teleported bases. You can see more issues have come up for as far as the spawn and anomalies inside. For as far as the allowed players to delete the freighter rooms were standing in the inside, also on top of the legacy saves, loading correctly now. For as far as shuttering animations inside of the space anomalies inside of Starship, salvaging that station. You can see the sunlight directly for as far as the incorrect wind and spaceship. And inside of there, for as far as the pilot fails to navigate around the spaceship, for as far as on the planet, and a number of issues that have location text, players inside of occasionally spawning below the ground, and as you can see past that tremor of a fix, they caused some taking damage for as far as the recovered terrain and spawn below the ground. Now fixes come down for the memory, for as far as the trample, and correct number of physics optimizations that they had fixed from the last one. A crash related for as far as building spawns, which has been mopped up. They haven't been talking about it too much. On top of that, you can see that the quick menu, the UI for the byte beats on top of the crashing, and top of the threading crashing that related to NPC navigation, which is an ongoing theme throughout these updates, and the reloading for the game and the quick menu opening, and the final crash, which was the base generation. So thank you so much, Sean Murray, dropping his Astro mic, and he is out. For most people that have gone past that and you want to say, hey, I'm a PC generation guy, it's really that simple. Fish is just a vanishing portion of the sea level, and they've fixed that, so that's not super special. But what is special is that you can join the network today if you're brand new. It's absolutely free, helps me out as a creator, and if you do today, Sean Murray will gain another fan, because I've been playing this since 2016. But I'll see you guys and gals in the near future. Stay safe, stay classy, and I will see you there.